In an earlier column, I shared my bucket list, 4 things I'd like to accomplish before my time is up. Well, friends, you're the first to know. One of those goals should be achieved by the end of August, and a second one is well underway. First, the goal that was number 1 on my list. Fly TWA, my teeny-weeny airplane, from Florida to the West Coast and back. Maybe camping under the wing in a sleeping bag. It would be a low and slow trip, but at a mere 1,000 feet above the landscape, I'd see a rare panorama of America that some of my more adventurous pilot friends already have experienced. Now, that rather ambitious, some would say foolhardy, dream is about to come true. On July 27th, I'll take off aboard TWA, headed for Oshkosh, Wisconsin, in the annual Air Venture, sponsored by the Experimental Aircraft Association. If you've never been there, it's difficult to describe an airport that's suddenly invaded by upwards of 800,000 people and 30,000 airplanes of every type and description. About 10,000 of us pilot types will be camping next to our planes in a section of the airport dubbed the North 40. It's the biggest aviation event in the world, and it combines trade shows with air shows, seminars, aircraft displays, including thousands of planes that pilots built in their garages or their hangars. In a word, everything related to airplanes and the people who build and fly them is at Oshkosh for one glorious week in late July. So it seems appropriate to begin my coast-to-coast saga at this mecca of aviation, and it just happens that my birthday always comes right in the middle of Oshkosh week. After a few days of enjoying all the sights and sounds of this annual convention, I'll pack up my tent, deflate my air mattress, fold up my collapsible bicycle, and take off at dawn on July 31st, the day I turn 74 years old. The idea is to celebrate this landmark 74th year by flying solo for 7,400 miles. I'll pitch my tent and camp at small rural airports all across the northern section of the U.S., through Wisconsin, Minnesota, North Dakota, Montana, Utah, and eventually across the mountains into Oregon. I'll spend a few days visiting our son in Eugene, then proceed down the Oregon and California coast before turning back east somewhere in the Los Angeles area, and starting the trek home by way of southern Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Louisiana, and finally back to the starting point at Jacksonville, Florida's Craig Field. Mostly I plan to avoid the big cities and land at airports near lakes and rivers where I can extend my collapsible fishing rod and test the waters for bass or trout. I'll have my own propane one-burner stove for morning coffee. A computer, cell phone, video, and still camera will help me document this once-in-a-lifetime experience. The equipment is necessarily small, as the airplane weighs only 650 pounds and carries about that much weight in fuel, baggage, and me. My wife Renee has given this project her blessing, and of course I'll keep her updated day by day. It will be a journey that says you're never too old to follow your dreams. I hope it will also say to others who've encountered and survived cancer, as I have, that health issues don't always have to ground us. Oh yes, I said that the second item on my bucket list is on its way to achievement. That's the book I'm writing about my 55 years as a pilot. 3 chapters already are completed, and I have a strong suspicion this trip will provide at least one more. It's for sure you'll be reading a few columns from along the way, right here in this space.